Rob Square.
Whoa. Someone's feeling themselves.
Last night a little bit. Yeah, I've been feeling it,
There it is.
every pot almost, but this one even better.
Must be some good hot takes.
Ooh, very hot. Hot.
Hansel. So hot right now. Hansel.
So this is a wide receiver hot take episode. We're going down the line, guys, and these are some good ones.
Oh yeah.
Okay, these are spicy. Number one, this kind of goes along the lines of my Russell Wilson take. They're paired together. They're married.
Yeah.
Okay. DK Metcalf.
All right.
I have him as the number one player in fantasy, outside of quarterbacks.
Okay.
So running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, he's number one this year. Any scoring system you want to throw at me.
Really?
Okay. And that's going to be on the back of 100 catches and 20 touchdowns.
Ooh.
These are very high projections.
20 touchdowns.
These aren't projections. These are ceilings. Okay?
Sure.
Now, this man is officially a monster. Okay? Like, there's not... You make a guy in a lab for football.
Yeah.
He's there. Remember how Fox did their little cartoon thing last year when a guy scored a touchdown? The cartoon picture when they score.
Yeah.
So they just made everyone look like a superhero. The funny thing about DK Metcalf's is they actually just use a portrait of him.
Yeah, they had to tone him down a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually less because they're like this. No one's gonna believe this is a person.
Yeah. And
everyone else is just like, oh, if they had one for Mark Sanchez, he'd just be like pumping iron, right?
Yeah.
Like, nope, DK's is just a portrait. That's how big he is. He's not really human, and he's getting better every year.
Yeah.
It's going to be his third year. I compare him to a Des Bryant who's bigger, stronger, and a little bit more polished. Okay?
All right.
Des Bryant wasn't a good route runner.
Yeah.
I'm not saying DK is yet, but he's getting there.
Sure.
And we don't know what this year is going to, have for him. But he's gotten better every year. And last year, he, I think, finishes like wide receiver 6. Solid, right?
Sure.
12 touchdowns. But it got bad the second half of the year. Same with Russell.
Where's he getting drafted now?
He's getting drafted like 17th to 20th overall, and in terms of wide receivers, like 7 to 10.
Okay.
I'm willing to take him at wide receiver 3. I'm still going to take Hill, still going to take Adams over him just because of safety.
Sure.
But with my take, you think I should just take him number 1 overall. Well, you don't have to. The point is you don't have to. You can get him in the middle of the second round, and the man's a monster.
Yeah.
So if you take his first 8-game pace last year, here's what it would have been. Double it. 136 targets, which I feel is still kind of low. Like, he can get to 150 this year.
I would say, I think that's...
80 catches, 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's almost what I said he'd have. And that was, he did that for an 8-game sample size, right?
Yeah.
So he can improve on those numbers.
Sure.
Right? And like, I'm actually trying to look like DK Metcalf. You didn't notice? I switched up on the Hawaiian shirt theme.
I didn't notice
because I lost 10 pounds. Oh. So... it's not a big bragging point when you go from 250 to 240. But when, you want to show off, and I'm wearing a tight shirt. So I feel like I look pretty good.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You didn't even say anything.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty.
Has nothing to do with DK Metcalf. But he's just huge. You remember the Family Guy with steroids? Where Peter gets Stewie steroids?
Yeah. I've got veins that carry blood all over my body.
Yes. That's what DK Metcalf looks like. And the thing is, he also competed in that 100-meter race against actual track stars. And he didn't embarrass himself.
Yeah.
He didn't win. These guys are all 5'9", 200-pound Kenyans. Or like 160 pounds. And you got this monster of a man holding his own. And I know track isn't football, but if the biggest wide receiver in the league can run with track stars.
Yeah. I like the drive to challenge and improve yourself. Yeah. So, I mean, that's especially from a young guy like
another thing I love about DK is there was that play last year where he hot dogged it. It was like week 5 against the Cowboys, I believe, and he caught like a 50-yard bomb. He caught it on like the 20, and hot dogged it in. It was a Deshaun Jackson type. The guy came from behind him, he hot dogged and stripped the ball, and it wasn't a touchdown.
Yeah.
Fumbled out of the end zone, turnover, right?
Yeah. Wilson gets protection, airs it out. Metcalf is there, and it's knocked out of the back of the end zone.
And Pete Carroll backed him immediately, saying this is not who DK is.
I remember.
But that's also coach speak, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course they're going to back their player. What did he do 4 weeks later against the Cardinals? Your Cardinals. That chase down on Buda Baker.
Yeah.
Okay?
Prime
now, we'll put the clip in here, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It is the most impressive. Everyone knows about the Don Beebe play on Leon Lett, and that was a 290-pound offensive lineman, right? And, Don Beebe was a small little scat wide receiver.
Yeah.
And it was a Super Bowl. It was a blowout game. It showed the heart that he had. This was more of just a pure athletic play. He didn't give up. It was the opposite of what he did in the hot dog.
With 6 different receivers, and this time he lofts one, and it's picked off at the goal line. That's Buda Baker. Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does.
So he learned from that hot dog moment. I can promise you, I'm not DK Metcalf. I can call him DK Met Bull. He's not a calf. This man's a bull.
Oh, wow.
So now on, let's just change him on this pod to DK Met Bull. You didn't like that
it's
one.
not clever. Well, it's not,
I thought it was clever.
Well,
he's not going to do that hot dog play again. Okay? He learned from it. Okay?
That bull.
He learned from that play.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have all the physical talent, right? And now you have a guy that isn't Odell Beckham. He isn't going to be punching goalposts or making it about himself. He's not going to be celebrating. He's going to be hustling. He's going to hand the goddamn ball to the referee because now he expects to be there. He's a team guy. I mean, again, anyone can get injured, but if he's not going to get hurt the same way Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt.
Okay.
He's just too big.
Yeah.
He doesn't take hits. He delivers hits.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver, which you've never really heard before.
Point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's my DK Met Bull point.
No.
We'll go to my next one, which is this is a deep guy.
Okay.
It's Henry Ruggs. We've talked about him a few times on this channel. We're both all about him this year.
Yeah.
The value is, I can't believe it. I mean, I have him as the top 20 wideout this year.
Which is significantly, what's he going at right now?
He is going as a 56 receiver off the board. We're talking 13th, 14th round, 12th round.
Okay, yeah. All right.
He's going, the guy's going directly around Henry Ruggs right now in fantasy. Cole Beasley, which he might not even play this year because of the COVID thing.
Yeah.
Even if he does, he's Cole Beasley. Solid wide receiver 4, steady.
No one gets excited.
No upside.
Yeah.
Russell Gage. Now he's a number 2 in Atlanta, but they have Kyle Pitts.
Sure.
Rashad Bateman, who's a rookie, who's probably going to be 4th in the pecking order on a Ravens team that doesn't throw the ball.
Yeah, that's not.
Jalen Reagor, who we both kind of like.
Yeah, that one's a little intriguing. But yeah.
Jalen Hurts hasn't proven anything as a passer.
Yeah.
He's still not number 1.
Good point.
Until, Devonta Smith and his 150-pound frame. He has supermodel legs. Can we both say that he has...
We were talking earlier. He looks like a teenage girl that's wearing her father's shoes.
It's rough, man. And
I don't know how he walks.
I just have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see a snap leg.
I don't want
to either, but...
I don't know if there's any...
Remember the Dak Prescott play? That's a big man, and he just got tackled and laid on.
It's pure bone, dude.
Yeah, he has nothing. And the other one is Jalen Waddle, another rookie.
Yeah.
So these are the guys going around Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, fuck that.
Henry Ruggs is their number 1. Okay? They drafted him as the first receiver off the board last year in the NFL draft. And this draft class, I'm going to read you these names of the guy. This might go down as the best draft class ever. And again, it's the Raiders. They drafted Darius Hayward-Bay in the first round when no one else was even thinking about him.
Yeah.
So they still did take him ahead of these guys. And I'm going to read you this list. Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Laviska Shenault, Michael Pittman Jr., and Chase Claypool. We're all in that draft class.
Was it Mooney on there too?
And Mooney as well, as a deep guy. He was drafted ahead of all those guys. I mean, I don't want to say for a reason, the Raiders' reasons.
Yeah.
But obviously, his talent. He ran a 4.29. He's one of the fastest players the NFL has ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's a Roto World blur, but he gained 13 pounds. It kind of, I don't think it's going to hurt his speed. Last year, it was a lost year. Again, I'm going to beat this down. It's the rookie thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because Justin Jefferson, obviously, and some of these other guys didn't have an issue with it.
Sure.
But, he was more of a project. he got no OTAs, nothing, dude. He just came in and he was miscast, only running him deep, right? All it was, hey, Henry, run down the field with a quarterback that is reluctant to throw down the field. They didn't use him like Alabama used him. We watched his highlights. Yeah. He scored a touchdown like every play. There were end arounds, there were design screens, there were little slants.
First 5 catches of his college career were all touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And he almost had a 6th.
That was a freshman.
Yeah, he almost had a 6th one.
It's like a 50-yard bomb. He got touched up.
Yeah.
So I just think that the path is there. He's going to play a lot of snaps.
Sure.
That's just going to be there regardless. Mm-hmm. So to find a guy 56 off the board that's going to play all those snaps, that has game-breaking speed, they just start using him right, okay? And yeah, they have Darren Waller as their number 1. But I like that. He's going to command double coverage. Mm-hmm. They brought in Smokey Brown, a veteran. That's more just to bring in a veteran to replace Nelson Aguilar. Like, Henry Ruggs is going to be on the field. He's going to have a role. Okay. They can utilize him to his skill set, which, includes going deep. There's also just give him 2 carries. Manufacture another touch for him. Give him 4 catches that way, 4 touches that way. Then maybe you can have 4 or 5 targets in the other parts, that the deeper part of the field.
I like it.
And top 20, he could actually go higher, honestly. Like, he's not going to be a volume guy, but he could score 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's what.
And he could have 1,200 yards.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. Just kind of wrap up on that point. It's the Raiders had an opportunity to go out and get other guys. But they brought in just a kind of a low key veteran guy
they're running it back. I mean, they could have gotten Kenny Galladay.
Exactly. AJ Green's out there.
There was a lot of guys.
So they have faith in their guys. They drafted him, and it was Edwards last year, right?
And Brian Edwards would be a factor, but he's a strict outside guy.
Yeah, but it's my point is they said we're not going to give up these guys after 1 year, especially a COVID year, a crazy year.
And they were competitive.
So they have an idea of how they want to use Ruggs. Yeah. And it's if they can use him properly, it's game breaking.
Give him a little slot love, man. Like, just love it. Let's hear one of yours real quick, and then.
So mine is team that I'm kind of fading in general because I think they're a little overhyped, the Buccaneers. But my guy is Chris Godwin. Right now he's going right around the 15th, 16th overall receiver.
4th roundish.
Yeah. Which I love the value. I was even hesitant to say anything because I don't want him to start going higher.
Yeah.
But if we're just pointing about strictly, I see him. My hot take on him is I see him being I think he's a top 5 talent in the league. Last year, this is a scenario. These are the type of players I look at, guys that I think have top 5, top 10 upside or talent rather, that had a weird year for whatever reason. Last year, Godwin had something on his finger, so he literally his finger he was catching with one hand.
Finger.
Yeah, he had surgery on it, I believe, and so he had to get that repaired. Out for 2 games with that. Hamstring out for 2 games. Concussion missed part of the game, so he only played 12 games.
Is it safe to say he had the full NFL experience last year?
That sounds cool.
Kid, you're the best. Sign with me and you're gonna make millions.
Griffin, get out there! Ow!
It's his knee.
Doc!
You'll never play football again.
Too bad, kid.
You was gonna buy me a house! Now I have headaches. I'm gonna save my brain for science.
Just the concussion, injury, contract. He's trying to play for a contract.
I don't know that he's punched anyone yet, though, off the field. So.
No, that would actually be the completes.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, he's still young.
Did he have baby mama issues, like trying to get money from him?
He's still developing as an off the field.
Developmental there, on the field,
it's
polished.
There. Yeah, so
polished.
So this past year, 2020, in 12 games, only 12 games, still had. I wrote it down here. I actually prepared myself a little bit. 65 catches, 840 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Year prior,
limited action.
So here's the thing: his breakout year. Well, his breakout year was a couple years ago, but the year prior, 2019, his big blow up year where he was like a top 10 or whatever receiver. He ended with 86 catches, 1,300 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
Oof.
Still only played 14 games.
Oof.
So
that's big.
So from going the extra 2 games, yeah, he may have gotten up to 75 catches, call it 80 catches. I mean, so he's still at 7 touchdowns at the point. Yeah. Tom Brady is projected for 35 touchdowns this year. If he played just the 14 games again, he would have flirted with the exception of the yards, he would have flirted with the same stats. I mean, he could easily score 2 more touchdowns.
He was still a wide receiver 3 last year with all that jargon you talked about, right? I mean, all that crap.
Last year he averaged less than 13 yards a carry. His career average is closer to 15. Mm-hmm. So not yards per carry, yards per catch. Mm-hmm. So just And then he has Tom Brady throwing him the ball too. He's the best receiver on the team. Evans is a guy that produces, but not someone I get excited about. I think he's getting drafted at a ceiling.
Always is.
And so, and then Antonio Brown, who the hell knows?
He might not be on the team week
but
3.
He could also be a great value. But I think the guy that's going to pace that receiver room in terms of targets, catches, yards, he's going to lead the team in every significant category, and he'll lead the league in maybe a couple of them.
And how many passes do we have for Antonio Brown not being relevant this year or even on the team? There's like 3 things. It's injury, it's him being a knucklehead, right? Or even getting benched for just not hustling or
he might not get thrown to in the first half of the game, and he might not show up in the second half.
They don't need him. He's more of he's a luxury for that team.
Absolutely a luxury.
They brought back OJ Howard, they have Gronk, they have Gio Bernard now. They have so many guys.
Yeah,
but Chris Godwin is going to be the centerpiece. He's the slot guy.
Exactly,
he is the Julian Edelman of that team. And who does Tom Brady love throwing the ball to? It's not these big Mike Evans types. He'll do it. Last year he was airing it out more than he wanted to.
Yeah.
That's Bruce Arians also probably whispering in his ear. But Tom Brady is getting older. Apparently he's not. He's Benjamin Button. Brad loved that.
He's got another extension.
Yeah. He's going to play forever. But eventually the arm's got to kind of give a little bit. That will go back to the slot love, right? And
Godwin's a monster.
Godwin lives
He's
in the slot.
Beast across the middle.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's pound that one. Yeah. All right. We're going to end with this one. This is also kind of a guy we both love. So it's almost a take for both of us.
Okay.
It's Mike Williams.
Okay.
Okay. And I've been loving him every year, and he kind of disappoints me a little bit, but I just can't get away from him.
Yeah.
It's just the raw talent. I can't, dude. He can cheat on me as many times as he wants. I see him.
Doesn't matter how mad you are, and you just see that smile and you just melt.
He's got a nice ass too.
Oh, now I know you're real.
So my hot take is Mike Williams is a top 12 wideout this year.
And he's going. Do you know?
He's going wide receiver 40, 42, which would be round 4, wide receiver 4 range.
Okay.
So I'd say that's probably about round 9.
I think that, yeah.
So a little before Henry Ruggs.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's late. I mean, you can draft him as your wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, if you really wait as your wide receiver 3, which I would be comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Because his real risk is injury.
Sure.
Which it's not so much him missing games, it's the whole Calvin Johnson thing where he'd just be a game time decision, and then you have to worry about, do I play him hurt? Or we don't even play Calvin hurt because he's Calvin Johnson. Yeah. Mike Williams at 60%. If you're only playing half the snaps, that's what he
hasn't shown that he can be productive unless he's been healthy for a few games in a row.
So a little background on Mike. All right, he's 26 years old. You think he's a lot older than that?
I think so. Yeah.
He's only 20. Like just turned 26, bro. Number 7 overall pick in 2017. So they invested a lot in him. This is a contract year for him, which it's a narrative, it's a crutch argument, but
I like that.
I like investing in guys that are contract years, opposed to especially guys we don't know the character, opposed to guys that are just getting paid.
I think the contract year is important when you're tied to a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he wants to stay and play with the Chargers. I'm sure he wants Herbert throwing him the ball. So if you can prove that he's worth getting paid the money he wants, then the team's going to feel comfortable. He's going to feel comfortable staying with the team he's with.
Agreed. Whose skill set does Herbert work out better for? Mike Williams or Keenan Allen? I feel like it's Mike Williams because Herbert wants to throw the ball down the field.
I think they're both essential to
the. Agreed.
Crucial. Yeah.
But I feel like he's not a check down guy. Keenan Allen doesn't really get on the field. And last year, he was just giving Keenan Allen all the work he could handle.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Herbert is not scared to throw the ball in tight windows. Mm-hmm. And Mike Williams isn't a separator, right? He's a Kenny Galladay. He's a guy that just, he's going to use it. He's going to win the 50-50 ball to Mike Williams is a 75-25. Mm-hmm. So just throw the ball. It's not going to get picked. It's going to be a catch or an incomplete pass. Love it. So just some stats on him that are going to back up my argument, I feel, and you're going to be drafting him everywhere if you already weren't. He's never had over 90 targets in a season. This is not 1984, man. 90 targets is not hard to get to.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley had 90 fucking targets last year.
He's been the second receiver for 2 years now. So
it's injury and just some weird things. So 2018, that was his rookie year. He only played 3 or 4 games. He got hurt. 2018 was his first full year.
Yeah.
He had 66 targets only. All he did with that was score 10 touchdowns. Name me guys that can do that.
Yeah.
There's not many, dude.
Yeah.
There's not many. That is a touchdown every 6.6 targets.
That's nice.
It's absurd. 2019 was the exact opposite. Only had 49 catches, 1,000 yards. 20 yards, dude, a catch.
20.
And the funny thing about that year is he only had 2 touchdowns. So, like, they were just bizarro years, right?
Yeah.
So, I can see him doing both those this year, putting it all together. And also maybe having 75 catches.
Yeah.
1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. You're looking at a solid wide receiver, too.
Sure, yeah.
Top 15 finish.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking Mike Evans.
Yeah. And let's just say, Keenan Allen, was known to be injury prone, and then he's not injury prone. Like, the narrative's totally changed because he's played 3 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
He's small, and he tends to lead games early. Let's just say Keenan Allen gets hurt. I mean, who are you looking at here?
Sure.
He's the number 1. I like guys that can move up.
No, there's a lot of scenarios that point to Mike Williams being productive this year. I like it.
And where you're getting him, if it doesn't work out, if he gets hurt, you just fucking drop him.
Yeah.
You spend a 10th round pick on him. It's not a 4th round pick. You're not that invested.
Yeah.
I will be invested.
Or you can just be in Rob's league and you can trade him. So if you draft him
yeah. I'll pay you extra.
I'm joking, XFL.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're not paying too much attention to what it takes.
No.
So there's the wide receivers, and we'll be back with a little tight end bonus episode.
Yeah, good job. I like that. I like your list there.
Stay tuned. I like yours too.
Yeah, cool.